Hey, good morning, everybody. I want to thank you for joining us today on Tuesday. Hope you're having a great day. Marcus, not so good yesterday. Dave and I will break that down here in just a few moments as we look at kind of where we are today. I do want to again bring about some of the things that we talk about on here and we give away for free. We have a free report again on market corrections. I think that's probably pretty important right now, given where we are in terms of the market and what we're seeing in the marketplace itself right now. And so, again, to get that free report on understanding market corrections, text MARKET to 863-285-3815. Or here on Facebook, all you have to do is click the box or the little link right here above this post, and it'll take you right there. Thanks. Dave will be with us in just a few moments.
105.7 Light FM. Nickelback is there. Morning Dave is here, and your money is, I don't know for sure where your money's going. Let's check in with somebody who does know. Downtown to the offices of Statler Financial Services. Phillip Statler on your radio with me this morning. As always, Phillip, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Dave. Doing well this morning. It's Tuesday. I'm sure the kids are trying to get into some kind of routine this morning.
I absolutely love the cartoons of parents dancing a jig on the first day of back to school. I remember my wife was not a happy camper when our kids went back to school, and my daughter, when she had her first child, sent her off to kindergarten for the first time. Kelly got caught stalking outside the windows of the school where her kid was going to school for her first day. She just couldn't quite let go. So a whole range of reactions for back to school, isn't it?
Yeah, there really is. And Facebook was full of first day pictures.
Oh, absolutely, including some interesting ones of the kids kind of going, "Mom, are you really going to make me stand for this picture?" Boy, yesterday on Wall Street, I used the phrase poopy when we first got on the phone. I got a bunch of stronger terms, but I can't say them on the radio. Another 389-point dip in the Dow, and the biggest concern outside of trade is what the Sam Hill's happening to the one bunch of people in China that we are talking to in Hong Kong. They just can't seem to get their act together, can they?
No, they really can't. They can't get this demonstration under control. And I don't know. I haven't read enough articles, I guess, to really understand the demonstration. But I assume it has something to do with China and Hong Kong and their relationship. But it definitely has put a damper on our markets, on Hong Kong's markets, and markets across the world.
Absolutely. I'm not 100% lucid on all the issues. I know this particular spate of demonstrations started with a new extradition law where Hong Kong suspects could be automatically extradited into the mainland Chinese judicial system, which is about as popular as flatulence in church in Hong Kong. So I think that's the genesis of it. But as is the want of the Chinese people, when they get honked, a mass demonstration is really easy to get going. And that poor airport in Hong Kong has been basically shut down for 2 days solid, and a lot of people are camping out in the terminal area, wondering if they're ever going to get off the ground.
Yeah, it's they need to get something under control there to free up our markets, if nothing else.
Absolutely. It's just causing the jitters on worldwide markets. Some of the Asian markets are down over 2% overnight. We start the morning out with some macro news coming out of our government. Inflation, consumer price index, up 0.3% in July. The core index, which I always get a kick out of, getting rid of things like food and energy and stuff that we can live without, it was up the same amount. I gather the core was a little bit of a surprise to the prognosticators, huh?
Well, the regular CPI came in as expected, the 0.3%. Core, from what I can see, was expected to come in at 0.2%. It came in at 0.3. So that just says the prices across the board are getting higher, and that's not something that consumers are going to be happy about.
Absolutely not. It was a pretty large jump, but the annualized rate really still looks like it's under control. The annualized consumer price index increase 1.8%, the core 2.2%. I mean, that's pretty darn close to the target the federal government and the Federal Reserve have in mind.
Yeah, it may be, Dave, but the market's not liking it. I got just a ticker across my little news blogger here that says Dow set to drop 100 points now at the open based on the CPI coming out. And the bond market's getting closer to sending the recession signal based on the 10-year Treasury.
Oh, lucky us. Yeah, you and I were saying we didn't know for sure how the stock market would react to that, whether or not it mean the Federal Reserve saw positive reaction to their interest rate drop or not. Sounds to me like they're unimpressed so far this morning.
That's the way I'm leaning. I'm thinking they're not happy with the way the numbers are coming out.
I got you. The other thing worthy of note that came out for the government this morning, they also report wages, and they show inflation-adjusted wages during the month of July down 0.1%. That, I think, is one of the first retrenchments we've had in quite some time.
Yeah, I think so, which may give us some indication that the other stuff you and I have been talking about, the slowdown, may be finally starting to hit a little bit harder.
Understood. As we've always said, if we're going to hit a recession, the first choice is always a soft landing recession, and general gradual slowdown of the growth rate, that isn't necessarily bad, and that wage decrease tends to indicate the same thing. Got anything on the markets as far as earnings season reports? We should be getting into some pretty heavy numbers over the next few days.
Well, right now I only have a couple this morning. I've got Advanced Auto Parts came in, and they had a pretty significant miss. They were expected to come in at like $2.21 a share. They only came in at $2 a share on earnings per share. Revenue missed as well. They're calling their economic times a little challenging right now in terms of what they're looking at in this next quarter. They're trading down 6%. And right now, based on that, they will open at a new 52-week low this morning when the market does open.
I figured something had gone on there on the top of my stock loser list this morning. You think that might be a hint for the auto parts chains stop opening up across the street from each other all the time?
Well, they're taking the same, what they're doing. They're taking the same CVS Walgreens model, right? If a CVS opens up, a Walgreens opens up across the street, because at one point, it may not be true now, but at one point they did market studies that showed that when they did that, it increased sales by 5%.
Wow. I never saw the number. But Walgreens CVS is always a joke. And I mean, every auto parts chain in the world seems to be right off the corner of 27 of the Parkway up here.
Yeah, it did. So I think that is kind of funny. But I have two more. I've got another miss, and we won't recognize this name any, but I find it interesting. It's called 10 Cent Music. They did beat by 6 cents a share, but they lowered their full year guidance, and they missed on revenue. But what 10 Cent Music is, it's a China-based music service.
I was going to say, I've never heard of them, to tell you the truth.
I thought maybe it was like isn't there a rapper 10 Cent? I thought maybe it was his music, but it's not. They're trading down 4.5% this morning.
Okay.
And now I've got a good, I don't know if it's a good news or not a good news, but we've got Brinker International. Now that sounds like the banking people, right? But it's not. It's the parent of Chili's and some other restaurant chains. Now they beat by 2 cents a share. Revenue was below forecast, however, and they did raise their full year expected earnings this year. So that was a good thing. And they're trading up almost 8% this morning, which is a big flip, because when I first looked at it, it was actually trading down a little bit, and somebody must have parsed through the numbers a little bit more and raised their expectations. So they're trading up almost 8% this morning.
And one good news report never hurts a bit, given the general timber of the overall international. Resetting the table this morning, it was a red day yesterday on Wall Street. Dow was down by almost 1.5%, down 389. NASDAQ down by 96. Standard & Poor's was down by almost 36. Everybody was down by close to 1.25% or better yesterday. And things continue in Hong Kong, so I'm kind of betting this morning isn't going to look a lot better. Phillip, where we going 45 minutes early?
It's not looking much better, Dave. Things have not gotten better. They've actually gotten a little worse. We have the Dow right now down to 88 points. We got the S&P 500 down 9.3, And then we've got, that's $9.30. And then we've got the NASDAQ down $30. So everything in the index section is heading down. We've got gold and silver both trading up. Gold's up to $1,528 an ounce. That's up 0.75%. Silver's trading up 1.25% to $17.28 an ounce right now.
Boy, gold catches my eye. It was only about a year ago I was cracking wise about it's never going to get above 1,200 again.
Yeah, it's proven you wrong, isn't it?
Oh, no kidding. Overseas markets, everything's in red ink. Like I said, the Asian Rim was really a sell-off last night. Hong Kong was down by over 2%. I mean, they can't fly out. They might as well sell something. Europe kind of following our suit from yesterday, so we got red ink on every side of the pond looking around us as well. Phillip, we got to straighten out our retirement and make sure we can retire safely. I'll bet there's a lot of people that need some unbiased advice. How do I find you on the phone?
David, give us a call at 382-0037 to schedule their financial x-ray analysis of their current portfolio and get some coaching on what you need to do to prepare for retirement. Or if you're already retired, some coaching on what you need to do to make sure that this market correction doesn't affect you. And then join us every weekend for the Statler Financial Radio Show, 6 a.m. and noon on Saturdays, 10 a.m. Sunday mornings on News Talk 730 a.m.
And streaming at newstalk730am.com. And if you can't find us on the light, you can also see us streaming at 1057lightfm.com. Phillip, thank you so much. We'll find you tomorrow morning, all right?
Sounds good, buddy. Have a great one.
Thank you. It's 105.7 Light FM and Statler Financial Services, Phillip Statler.
Have you done your homework?
Hey, again, I want to thank you for joining us. If you like what we're doing, please like our page on Facebook at Statler Financial Services and share this video with your friends and family. Again, I want to remind you about our free report on understanding market corrections. Text MARKET to 863-285-3815 or click the link right here in this post. It'll take you right there. Have a great day. I look forward to talking to you again tomorrow.